It may be only me that I think that the adaptation of Spy X Family is bland, more bland than the manga. The chemical between these three, well, it could it could have better effect with some dialogues, with some showing how Anya is, like showing the dialogue what Anya think, and more screen time of everyone in the show. Well, the show is speed through that part and make the adaptation of Spike's Family more bland. Well, I really don't want to compare the anime to the manga, but in this case, I really need to, because of the fact that the manga of Spike's Family uh, is more. I would say I don't by any means knows that the production of the animation, but it it could work all like the other rom-com in this season, Shikimori, uh, Aharen, and these rom-com in this season have the time to slowly reveal the characters, to make the characters slowly talking to each other. And well, I wanted to show the example in this scene. In this scene, it has a lot of impact that in the park, Loy is the only one that worked hard, right? It is it is this scene in the manga that I really remember it, and I really love this scene in the manga. But in the anime, just show these three, just like, well, this chemical between these three are the thing that kept the show going. You could argue that is the whole show about the chemistry of the three. And well, in this scene that Loy is already exhausted, Yor need to help Loy to to help him relieve by going to the park. And this is what happened. They're just like, you know they just they just like watching the whole town, and finding the Dave stealing stuff from them. And I think that in the manga has more talking about it, and talk just a few dialogue that Yor came here because of the fact that she is having problem with her, compared to the manga, where you're talking about her, um, work with these people, and her assassins dialogue about her mind. The anime just say this simple feels dialogue, which I think this cut making it's do, like, it's so fast that I see that the director, while it is the main thing in the anime, that Spy Family is all about this family, revolve around the family of your Lloyd, Anya. But the director put a feel, trying to make it an action, and coin her, not coin her, trying to make it like go fast, about focus on the spy aspect and fighting aspect, which is not the thing that you should focus on. Like, I'm really sorry about people who, like, you could argue about it, but I'm real sorry about people who like the anime, this anime. But for me, it's just that not that compared to the episode 2, it's not that impressive for me. It's not that impressive, I'd say. But this episode is just all about Lloyd trying, just like, work hard alone, and essentially wanted these two to get the job, wanted Anya to go to the schools, and you're to practice being the mom in the family, and Lloyd Toyer to to find that they will work together to get Dave. Basically, it's a version, not so boring version of Kurashai. It's a better version of Kurashai. Play with the spy theme, not trusting anyone, having kept human emotion will craft the scene, little details, and I know, again, the pacing goes quite fast for me, but I don't know for anyone else. But the scene about the chemistry between these three is okay. Like Anya, like your and staff try to hide the thing about them. Yours trying to hide herself that is related to the assassin. Well, Lloyd worked hard to make these two being a family, feels like the real family. Well, it's not quite work. You're just like old person who is having the mind flying in the cloud and not being in the person. Lloyd is kind of technicians trying being reasonable. Well, not quite in the eyes of us that see him is like thinking too much into stuff, well, not considering the most simple fact, and being that guy, that reasonable fuckers who is kind of annoying. Anya being innocent kids who is probably trying to observe people and doing stuff without considering the feeling of the other, and that she is the little kids, and these three having some good chemistry between each other. Um, Quite funny that Lloyd like going to the art, and these two like the thing that normal people just don't like, just like Gio, like Anya is just pointing out or chin chin, and she's liking them. Well, you're like the pieces of guillotine, um, and there's this some innocent scene about Anya drawing the stuff about her family and those kind of stuff that about spy and stuff, and that she need to hide, and it's kind of funny, I think, and playing the theme about family, and playing the theme about family, about spy, about assassin, about the work of each other that conflicted. Like I am not the only vagueness in this episode is that the theme of it's just showing a lot of the comedy scenes and stuff, but the drama between about the work of assassin, I know that the director trying to make this anime not so serious, but it is one of the main charm of Spike's family that I've read the manga. So the director cut out the scene that is about the drama, about the job of these two, the drama about like the court is trying to comforting his shoulder. The court is just who's like the director trying to cut the drama part out of the episode, that and trying to make that episode being only pure comedy, which I think it's not working, because the fact that we need a lot of force emotion in the episode in order to enjoy it, and trying to cut the part about assassin of your and her job, that she isn't a part, because the fact that she is get home from work and not highlighted, that emotions too much, and that what chorus is thinking. Like other thing is that the show not trying to make uh not making the choruses not trying to not showing the choruses thinking too much, but oh my gosh, I'm flip I I will flip it to horizontally, so okay, so you can see. And so it's not this part that I'm showing you here. I'm arrowing it here, this part, and it's not showing much of the fact that it is about the chorus is thinking. What is the chorus is thinking? This anime not trying to make it show don't tell too much. That we actually just some scenes is actually important that we know what chorus is thinking, and highlighted that emotion, and make it somehow little heavier, not just the another scene that make it passes through. And I th- I think roughly that it is not working that you make Anya just like a little kid and observe her emotion. I wanted to see the inside what is Anya thinking at the time. Like it's will be more kilter and stuff, and this is what I think. And just see that it's just like culture just goes on. Now it is like in the big picture, it's just like the courses just go on doing stuff, and we just need to observe and think about it. Like what I mean by the director cut the dialogue is this, you see. The Lloyd Forger think about three dialogues later she goes to the park, and you see in the anime one, not it is not about the amount of dialogue. It's about how the anime highlight the feeling of the Lloyd Forger. It's not just about the moments that passing through and just ended there, and we're not thinking about it. You see in the highlight, I remember that feeling when I read a manga 2 years ago correctly. I remember when I read this manga for a few years ago. Like this is the first time ever I feel truly hopeless in my 10 odd years as a spy. I've undertaken countless missions. A spy shouldn't truly entrust his success in his mission to the others. I can't depend on the judgment of the amateurs. No relying on strange was unable to unworkable idea to begin with. Like you could clearly see that law is the choruses of law is this clear, is this obvious, is that it's highlight the courteous of law. Have I chosen the wrong people? I can prepare the rest perfect answer is to memorize, or perhaps we can engineer some sort of system where I can fit the answer to them. So that means anticipate every possible questions that might ask in the interview. I need to go back to the fundamental. I need malicious plan one that takes into account a real aspect of the simulation and every possible contingency. And we truly see that how the spy think about. Like I may be salty because it is the only anime that I ever remember reading the manga after watching the anime, before watching the anime, and I really feel like I'm salty because of the fact that like I expect this to be one of the best rom-com that I have ever seen. One of the like funniest, like good, but the best, not just this adaptation that is bland. Like I expect more of this. But with that said, it is kind of a bit lost potential that it is just a lot of the scene in this anime is just goes and it just goes on and just not really having that impact that I see when I was kid in the manga. But so I really feel that it's a lost potential. The score, as you would guess, it is good to great. It is good to great. It is not great because of the fact that it is like the normal stuff about helping people, about spy and stuff. Um, it the main reason is that, as I say repeatedly in the episode, that it is not about it is about the fact that persona of the characters is not clear enough for me to enjoy the shows. Yes, like the characters action, that chemistry between these three is good enough, but not good, not like the tension. The character's persona and a lot of the detail is just the director just put it in without considering the details. It's feel like just trying to fill in the minutes, like, and I feel like this is not the Spy X Family that I want. Like I may be like a uh salty manga reader in when I reveal this anime, but like I really feel that really, even if I can't, I will, like, even if I don't read the manga, I will kind of still feel that it's lacks something. It's just like not having enough the tension to, not tension, it's just not having like that impact that made an anime feel truly special or truly good for me. So I'm glad that I read manga first to, you know, to know the charm of the Spike family first. Like the review, the score of mine. It's not about. It's not because of the fact that yeah, just it may have the impact, a lot of impact to me, that I give the score, but I review based on the anime. Like the reason, it's not based on the manga. The score is based on the anime. Like I really consider the anime that has this just normal, helping the uh old woman, having Anya, and the chemistry between these three, but lack details, but lack the fact that it has impact about the assassin, about the work of these three, because at last these three help people, and that not enough details of the an impact to make a good message, to send a good message for me. So I don't know about the order because I'm not still not watching the video of maybe Attack the Spirit, maybe the Brandon anime reveal. I don't know, but for me, it just kind of feel a little bit disappointed for me. But the score is not that bad. Like it's still good score, but it is not what I anticipated. It is not that what I feel like it could be better. And it could in the future episode. I truly hope that the anime is kept up with the manga. Okay, right now I think that Hero is just an anime that I think that the world building and stuff, and what Naofumi and its philosophy and a lot of the theme of it is interesting, is exciting, but it doesn't lift it up. It just like follow the formula of Naofumi doing stuff and defeating And in this episode is about Naofumi defeat the turtle, which is kind of exciting. Like, I didn't care about the CGI like everyone else does. I don't even care that people care about it because of the fact that it's quite fun watching this anime. Quite interesting. Like, it's quite exciting the fact that there's like process, there's people, there's a lot of up and down. But if you would say it's bland, yes, it's bland. It's just like Nefumi using the skill and stuff. It's just like you could watch any games, any people who playing games, but a lot of them I enjoy. I enjoy that Nafumi just, using the people that he find throughout the journey. It's a cliche that I think never gets old, and I really like that. A lot of the thing that happening in the story is just using the people that he find throughout, defeating the turtle and having fun, I'd say. From what I have heard, this anime is speeding through the slow phases, the boring phases, which I don't really feel anything of the characters, and the characters go so fast, which if it goes through the phases of the good phases in the novel, which I think that would be good, better. But for now, I think that this anime is just a bit. It's not slow. I like how it goes kind of fast, and but when it goes so fast, I didn't really have time to face the Naofumi, how he developed the characters. Like, I don't really watch the Shihiro for the whole arc of the story right now. I don't really watch Shihiro for the whole whole of the story arc. When I watch Shihiro, I watch it because of the fact that I enjoy the process of it. But if you would say Shihiro in the overarch story, it is not a good story. It's just like there's this another world, and there's Nami, there's Naofumi need to fight this Nami to go through, and it's kind of enjoyable for me, I'd say. In the process, small episode of it. Right now, the drama of Shihiro is just like, I don't really see how it introduced the characters. It's didn't really like the main drama of the Shihiro, and probably all of the anime in the world is about the characters. But when the story goes so fast and you don't really have the time to introduce, really just take your time to thinking and watching the characters slowly introducing. You just feel like it's just a drama about your friend that tell you about that dramas, and drama about other people, the stranger. But I don't really feel like it, like the news on the YouTube of critical of Penguin Zero is more dramatic than this anime. Like, but I enjoy it, I'd say. So the Hero season 2, the score that I would give it was nothing more than being, I think that nothing more than boring to good. Like, I have a lot of mixed feeling within this anime. On the other side, I think that this anime is when it's an arc story, I think it is boring. It's boring about Shihiro and stuff. It's just cliche. It's not fresh anything, and it's just so plain and bland. And then this fight and the fight scene, the verb beating, and I just think that it's so. But when it comes to the Shihiro stuff, when it comes to the fightings, the when there's quiz that like there's the courses introducing a lot of the elements of it. It's good. It is interesting. Like the first, like if this kept up with the first few episode of the Hero season 1, I would give it good to that. Those episode feels first episode of the Hero, give it like from good to great, because it's okay, and it's interesting about AG stuff. But for now, I have a lot of mixed feeling about this anime. I don't even know if oh, sorry. Okay, the score is in now. So I don't really know how this anime will goes in the future. Will it be sinking? The ship of the Shihiro will be sinking, or it will float, or just staying continue to be this clusterfuck of the Shihiro. I really expect a lot from this franchise, because I really enjoy first few episodes, as I say, and I kinda enjoy season 1. It's a really fun ride of a story, and I hope the season 2, after it's speeding through the boring phase of the story, I hope it'll be a good anime. This episode of Skeleton Knight is boring. It's about watch Skeleton Knight novel on Muse Asia, but this anime is boring. You could watch it on YouTube, and to be honest, this season Muse Asia doesn't do good job on publish, and doesn't do really good job on publishing the stuff, the anime in the season, because there's so little good anime in the season published on Muse Asia. You should watch it. There's few bangers. Like last time I checked, there's no like there's like I couldn't watch a lot of the anime like Spy Family, Kaguya-sama, and Shimura for some reason. So the only few two anime that I could watch on Asia is two isekai anime in the season, is that Skeleton Knight and Murabito Daimo no something. Murabito is Insane, which it is boring, because like there's no up, there's no down. Like I know all that about cover songs that Eroistic-Ke, who is cover artist, did, and in the opening, and a lot of the your questing isekai, there's expositions about politics and stuff. There is a fight between Elf, the misunderstanding between Elf to make Elf at last to help Elf doing the quest and stuff, which is really you're really like, I think that Shihiro is more interesting than this anime. So this anime is I'd say, I get this down. This is not the score. Sorry. Okay, I get this down. So, you see, the score, as I say, does from down to up, from less to more. The more upward it is of the score, the more better of my score it is. So this time is also nothing much, nothing interesting about it. So the story of Demon Lord Reborn, there's nobody, is just so straightforward and nothing interesting about it. Uh, it's just like our main protagonist finding a way to avoid being with the people that he met when he was Demon Lord, as they're trying to get to him and try to take the revenge, because they got wrong that he doesn't being with them means that he abandoned them, so they just need to escape. And there is a lot of problems about it with his harem, and this episode is crazy of the fighting the demons. All in all, your normal cheese. The course design is killed. A lot of the moments is about our main protagonist finding a way to evade the fact that he was good at magic, and that he is the Demon Lord in the past, as he need to avoid, because of the fact that he wanted to live like a normal person, which I honestly think that it is not a good thing, that living like a normal person does with the actual stuff. Maybe he want to become irrelevant, like a lot of the anime people does, but I honestly didn't understand. Maybe I understand because I also wanted to live being typical nobody, but I don't understand these type of people if they wanted to live with being typical nobody. They'd be living in living in the castle, in the abandoned castle in somewhere in the fantasy or East Guide, or two, they will be living in forests and stuff. Forest, they would be living in the hut somewhere, or the Antarctic, because they have the magic to evade and finding the food, and fighting with the temperatures, which I don't know why these type of anime or main protagonists, they wanted to live in the town and want to avoid these things. So it's okay. Like, I really like how it does having this kind of tension, still having this emotion, control the emotion quite well. Doesn't really feel like is flexing only. That is like a lot of the fact of his past that he need to avoid. The world building, that is like the demon, and a lot of the queen. Maybe queen. This like queen is like the childhood friends of of the elf, which I don't know the name. And all in all, this anime exceed my expectation times after time. As you know, it's hard for me to just like an anime. Anime is like them if all not, it's not boring. Waifu Queen is killed. This anime with the better than boring superhero art past that he need to avoid. It's good. Fan service in this anime, play bit by bit, make it horny, to be honest. Like, I really like fan service in this anime, like Succubus and Queen, and these story It's make me like really horny for some reason, and like I I just like how succubus dress. It just feels like it could the clothes could go out anytime, and it's as a man I'm really having the feeling with it. This may be kind of awkward, but really, the aspect that is great in this anime is character design. I think I might like the genie design more than a lot of the common here in the season. Maybe a lot more than Shikimori as I implies, but the main aspects of this anime that I watch is probably because I watched the characters, and the fan service and character design and the Seiyu voice actor. The casting was like I like the design a lot of more than rom-com here in the season. Maybe Koko no Inosuke I would say it's equally because I like that anime rom-com character design too. It's fun to see and beat Damon beat enemy to see reaction of people characters in the shows, and like your self-insert normal reason that are kinda okay. Yeah, it is generic. This anime is generic. It is stupid, but the same as Eroistic-Ke game. It's dumb fun, animation, effect, fire, a magic circle, fantasy element. I love to watch it. So, as you can see, the score of this anime in. Wait, let me get out. Okay. Okay, the score of this anime. As you can see, it is good, solidly good. A lot of good element of the visual characters and some tension in the story, some good seiyu and the parts of the art, and all in all, can't really say anything negative about this anime. As the others say, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, enjoy this anime. Holy god, drama, political drama, every drama, drama, and drama. Disease. Going both way and, gripping and oh my gosh, Tomodachi-Ke made a perfect anime, political anime in the school. Just the relationship problem and stuff. Tomodachi-Ke did good at being this drama shit, which actually just nitpicking. There's a lot of moments that I truly thrill with this anime. I binged this anime like I haven't for a long time. It's really extremely enjoyable based on the fact that this anime answer who is the main villain from the just episode 3. It's mind-blowing how fast-paced this anime is. There is mind game dark past thing to think about what the main characters will do. What past these people have different interpretation of the stuff happening. Thoughts this friend group. Though this friend group they are with each other. Because of the fact that they have more reason to compete. Bad mouth game where this anime really shine. They are to figure out who wrong, what past they have. They need to scrape out brain with us. Playing with the concept of friends. A lot of information to sway you. This is just a start that they are to write something down. This much have been done a lot of thinking. I wonder what will happen next. The score of the Tomodachi game. Don't be scared. It's good. Tomodachi game is just plain good. I'd say. And so many moments of the characterization symbolics of us to think what is real, what is false. Truly survival game about reading human, about the deep, about humanity without needless drama, or needing to put a sugar on the cake. This anime show a true game of human, how they're nitpicking, making something that is not true, false, or overreact something is that it is fascinating about humanity and the stuff that have been said before a lot of time. One of the few anime survival game that's just reveal villain this fast. Came to think of it, I gave this anime great. So of this, the world building, the fight, the dialogue, how could it improve this much? Showcase Shoujo no Virgin Raid episode 3 is fucking masterpiece. I think that when Akari transfer to um power to a cow is masturbating, but never mind. This episode of Momo fighting with the princess is just really good. But wow, this episode is lit. I don't even know what medication and stuff to take. It don't tell me. I think this guy about animation, fighting scene, fight with the guidance, princess fight with the press. Even though politic logic in this anime is dumb, still wow. Everything in this episode is really enjoyable. Anime that already have been, we see effect of the power of the Akari that made the time reverse. We see no versus. Princess and press fight with the press and knight. Princess fights straight using sword. Momo using these flexible lines. And it will be a fight that is really enjoyable, unlike the dialogue that's trying to assess the situation and fight of the Mino. Need to protect Akari not to make her power go crazy. A lot to think about power and how Cortus uses it. Good. Fight scene, increase expand world building, power scale. Dialogue of Momo vs Princess fight is wild. Meaningful Cortus actions. Unexpected exciting twist about using the power of time of Isekai-jin. The score of this episode is outstanding. As animation, a lot of dialogue, everything is improved. Talking about Kome using his past strategy to build the audience, interesting strategy used to adapt in the modern era. Same with Summer Time Render, I don't really feel real threat since Kome did everything. I mean, I don't really had the OP characters that did everything like One Punch Man, that no need to be some threat inside or outside. Could potentially ruin something, or make the characters need to move forward instead of just wait for the help of other characters. Part of the blame is this anime seems boring and generic like Shield Hero is the fact that this anime has uninspired villain. And solution to the problem, instead of trying to make the protagonist using the tactic to win the competition, instead using the calming to alter outside circumstance to treat main characters as already good at thinking. Just needs strategy from calming. Sure, the story is about calming using the strategy to make main characters win, and I'm not completely saying that it should not exist. Instead, Ego trying by herself or helping calming sometimes. The score of this anime in the episode 3 of Calming is just so. Nothing good, nothing bad. Just plain old fixing the problem with not so innovative stuff. But to adapt with the Three Kingdom, which is kind of okay, I think. But well, fighting scenes. Simplan with Asako and Sasanko. Boy theme get boring and should focus on the life of Kunoichi more. There probably a war between boys and girls. somewhere along the history line of in the anime. But the fact that these ninja are armed with the boy will make them weak because they rely on them too much. The relationship between Sasaka and Asako is like your normal rival anime. I quite like the chemical between these two. That these two do anything to go that thing that they like the different thing. This episode is okay. The episode fighting scenes between Snake and Hyde. Seek much of it's about Tsubaki finding about boys. It really does okay on all of the characters' personality with this much amount of the characters and uses of the conflict about each character to drive the story forward. A lot of the slice of life scene and dialogue in this anime make me feel like nice because we really know the personality of the characters make us immersed into it. The score is okay. Heroine Tarumono. And episode 3 at last increased the characters' interaction of this three Lip and Yuri. No need to put an idol marks or anything to be an idol. Real idol doing a good thing. I start to like this anime, starting to think that I like Lip, the head woman that have terrible personality. But I mean that they could help Huron. Hiro help Yuji. And I so know that they are seeing the support of the fan wrong. Amount of the fan or gift isn't what it is focusing on in this anime, and slowly starting to like Lip and stuff, and so this episode is great. And Horrell's fight between Mushroom and his joke in his fight with Alvin. Healer joke not about her being not healer overused jokes extended. Characters interaction dialogue feels got blackmail to talk to each other and trying to maintain the joke as much as possible. The story of Honohiro government Kasai is just boring and horrible. I'd say it's borderline, so I need to put the minus sign boring to the terrible this to score. There I am on episode 3. Reflection. My theory is that father of Isuka is senpai of Nagami who invite him to the guitar. Many meaning thread connect together in terms of the father of Isuka girlfriend Nagami events, and many meanings of the suite. The suite connect everyone together, explore the depth of the characters' emotion, past expand so we understand the characters more. The festival scene that should be the most important scene in this episode that connected all of the main characters together, and their memory and connection with the events and cut shot. Why is the atmosphere art of this anime make it so that it wanted to make me gone to Japan so much? I don't understand. Girlfriends from Tokyo Isuka and her father's past. Still, the idea of confessions to the different understanding of the situation is with the festival idea as actually connected to the past girlfriends of Nagami Isuka father, a lot of the memory. So I think that it should highlight it more important with the festival and what it is. So it made good Isuka past Nagami girlfriend arc ended this story. With these two developed feeling for Nagami more. The score is outstanding. Like Isuka character design skill. I really wanted to give this anime outstanding, but I can't. There's some elements that are still not highlighted much, but all in all, there is also photo of him Nagami hair for Isuka and a lot of good use of the theme. Like the strongest thing in the Daimon is the theme connected together with the Gion Festival means rather than being another mundane festival, much information about some more. So I really can't say that I give this anime full score of outstanding. I am really sorry that I am on fan because I am one of them. Aowashi is an anime that I think is I think the pause and stuff of this anime ended nicely. There's also stuff about their the mother, the everything about the between the not really exaggerating beating one team. Soccer in this anime is quite real. It is Aoi got beaten by the your team, which Aoi don't like the leader because the leader is just a douchebag. So he passed the team text. This episode quite normal. Aoi trying to score the goal team time after he losing to realize he got handicapped, which stepped up after the first two OP because villain team is disappear, which villain team quite intrigued for more have the potential to do better. What is the thing that decide the competitive sport or even musics like Kongming are not generic and doesn't lose the interest in its villain? The anime introduced villain as Senpai from youth team, which is kinda okay. Then Carter plays the main characters. That is also cliche while being decent threat to our grade or to overcome, which have certain threat for being scumbag, using his mouth to put others down. Soccer reference there is some plan, highlighted teamwork, every character has their own dream or goal. Most of planning phrase is useless expositions, sometimes score good in this anime, in this episode. And quite weird character design of this anime. I think this anime is kinda boring. Well, there's quite politic, warp, gate, traffic, war, dragon and stuff in an RPG world. It is right plot, side plot, while main of it really predictable people who fit for a weird house. For they have superpower. When anime say that FA, fire and dragon probably aren't related, I feel like it slapped me in the face. I wanted this anime to be like Hyoko, to be like the other cute girl, like Happy, to find some problem to solve it, not cartoony problem, and the predictable plot line. After a while I changed my mind. World building expanding, interesting things about necromancer cannot find their place or hard to do their job after the war ended. Less cops exist, to be exact. Slow, pointless going out in the second half of episode 3. Score of this anime is good. So episode 3 is really weird. Episode 3 of our anime getting better in the season. Not sure being ballet anime and it's still being an anime about the dream social bullying. What is it to be manly? Is it to have a good friend or something? It answered that Junpei to be cool he doing by his dream. Lua have only ballet. He got tortured when he was kids. To do ballet he hate it, so he hate ballet. Out of his hate, I only think he hated is so to have fun making fun of it. And this episode shows status of the world social people have distorted perception of the thing Bali need to be for girls. Soccer to be cool people who is out of the line is the black sheep. It's the black sheep. And so I can call it distorted. It is normal for him to think stuff. I would say it is nonsense. The very real people should do what they want as long as they are not hurt anyone. Instead of showing Junpei to help Liu from bullying, it shows how Liu can live with it. Liu, out of the valley, he is like me, empty man, doesn't care about other thing than hobby. Junpei choosing to help him, not, but he seems Liu is inspiring him even to not care to choose Bali, so he chooses to do Bali. Like this episode made me think a lot about the dream and ambitions. I think that it is beautiful that Junpei sees Liu as inspiring from the head of his Bali and stuff, and it's kind of weird. Like this episode, it doesn't show that bully should be normal. Bully is bad, yes, but it doesn't show it like the older anime. That Dancer is just different from the perceptions of the bullying. It just used the bullying as a tool to connect the main point of Liu and Bali and Junpei. Even though it is cliche since a follow your dream anime, it doesn't sell you a dream. It is sell the reality. It doesn't make it good look good. It doesn't temper with it. The show, as it show Liu doesn't look not good resolution. Just a man show how pathetic he is, and his thing that he does is another man realized that he wanted to do his pathetic thing in order real. Wow, the dancer. I have never seen such an undream realistic portrayal of the follow your dream title of the anime is, as I call it. Yes, in the other side, Bali is pathetic, as Luo showed, as pathetic for people who dances like Luo, and she is as feminine and stuff, while the man doing it showed it as he is already know Luo accepted it, and doing Bali in front of everyone make Junpei finally realize that he is the only one that being unmanly, who hide inside the excuse of the important thing to do. He finally abandoned it and goes out. The score of Dun 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 Tour is good to great. Well, everyone execution is great, message and stuff. Bali is still boring, mundane. Am I cheating this anime? But still, I can't really say this great anime despite the fact that I'm saying. While I'm being critical, I'm still allowing myself to go out and to think outside what other critics don't, which will it is limit yourself. Good. The narration direction of the show about torture, about bullying, about freedom, about going out of the box, about ballet, about the perception of the society about ballet, about doing what you want, about the ambition, about following your dream, and so the character's development for a flu from a man who seems also like extremely extremely bad psychology. He seems like a good ballet player. He seems like the one who will good at everything, wanted to help. Being good at ballet, need to be a prince, but actually he bad on everything else and left only ballet. And Junpei is smarting that, but that's extremely how the psycho, and he's abandoning everything for ballet because of the fact that his grandmother and his mom abandoned him. So No, his grandmother is actually torturing him to do ballet, and his mom battered him. So you have some lot of thing made him hate the world and the ballet deep look into law, and so his grandmother is the one that forces and tortured him to do ballet. So Junpei my law in that he abandoned everything and see pathetic dances as being beautiful things. As courteous is also weaknesses of this anime. Heroine seems unreasonable not approach and approaching prey for no reason. Miyako, the choristers whose writer have no places for her, just put her on and off without focusing too much on her instead of our plot into a loop. Episode 3 of Believing. Like the style of this anime. I really like the style of this anime that is about the underground goth and stuff. Not actually dark, not actually that dark, but they'll also have some dark theme of the perceptions of the people that about shoujo. It's like perception of the mafia and shoujo logic. Goes quite fast but still catch on. It's like Kuroshi-ai in version of like better Kuroshi-ai, which actually having the girl and south enjoy the fight between Ao and Eve. Eve using her red cleared obstacle before in the episode 2 and use his opportunity to win. Talk quite a lot in the first half, but also the last half is okay. I like the cut of the golf girl. Quite unclear why Aoi misses a lot of the last fight, so if it's true more about the fight than all the people talking, it'd be more okay. The score of this anime is good. Love Foul Play Episode 3. I thought it was boring, but I've come to understand that this anime is about feeling of everything needs to be decided. We call that high school in an other country than Japan probably after graduate. Participating in the club activity in Japan is important. You choose to make your career. One by one, the student quit after doing something and feeling lost in your early life. Real sees that people who quit wonder himself as this he should follow his dream. Became clear as he see his son Uchida. He also see academically good, but also enjoy badminton. It is not about your position and stuff. People who think about that quite the club, but Uchida truly enjoy it. People who quit the club, I try to really understand it, because it's like you don't enjoy playing the game, but you could enjoy watching it other playing the game. I like the feeling of the people who quitting one by one in this anime. It make it feel like the people in the verge of choosing what path the people will go in the early life. It is not about choosing the right path. Even if you choose what you think is right, it is not guaranteed that if it goes good at it is. It is just about living on with it, no matter how good or bad. Some people could do good on study and sport. Some can't, some opposite. I don't care about either. And these are people we see in life. It could make us assuring or feel uncertain or feel uncomfortable, feel safe. That kind of feeling. Still we enjoy things like Uchida did. He enjoyed but badminton. So he does it good. So he probably not about higher precision or skill. About we enjoy it as we hear all the time. The score of the episode of the Love All Play is good. Is great. Portray of the people goes and comes like dancer. This anime present the realistic real presentation in the world of the alley of life. Follow your dream. Still playing on the dream and stuff, not going into badminton. What I make this anime is not outstanding. About the character's depth, about the character's development, this anime did good of it. Enjoy the entire episode. Develop the characters in an interesting way. It flows smoothly with the music's narrative with the song entire episode. It is outstanding, no matter what. In this episode, no need to talk much. Just watch it. um what is called Heal a Girl episode 3. Consider the fun fact episode 3 is still okay. The thing that carried this anime is being the backbone of the series, the chemical interaction of these three characters. The score and the park is kinda short, expect for them to talk more like in the manga. I love the relationship moment really short, I expected it to be talking more, to have interaction, to know each other, characters talking more. This lawyer trying to handle Anya, and it's okay about the relationship, the problem of youth, trying to be fast forward the relationship of the characters without having any jockey stuff happening. It's bad, it's boring. But it's still better than episode 4, which we have something to talk in episode 4. Step Life Greatest Heaven episode 3. I'm still having a lot of the questions mark in my mind, but this episode is still good. So having a little bit got of the theme of the story about communists and capitalists in Ikebukuro, I just feel like a lot of the Japan animes have a lot of separate Ikebukuro stuff. Like in the Korean real life, this is about the censor of all art. Even penguins get to the base, he exchange with hardware capitalists from people who is rich and poor, so he still can't work that happy. So it's about much controversial debate about capitalists and communists. About art, you could censor it but get the consistent income, or hard work but get nothing in return, no censor. It is just kind of repeat concept, so I think that this anime is just so. The score of this anime, like, unless it's kind of have not so it's good. So it should have something to think, it should have something to talking about, it should have something to, like, at last these penguins are just not also happy because they need to work hard in the capitalist community. But I'm like, this is a debate which is better. For me personally, I think that it's just cliche shit, and I'm not actually good at politics. I think that both, like, being capitalist, you need to be rich, you need to be stuff, but being communist, you violated life and got violated life, and not so violated life, but you have people to arrange it for you. So people who need to work in the same way, which I think that it is just ideal if there's the communist anime like world with this, like, everyone work better, get better, but everyone have the home, which is also mixing between these two, which I think that the capitalist, right, to, like, I also not agree with the fact that the main corporation is just trying to suppress these little ones. But, like, I don't know, between these two I can't choose, but I think that capitalist who is having also the people who work harder, but every people have the home, but people who work harder get better. I think it is fair. So I don't know which is better, I'll just need to mixing it up. On that regard, reflection is finished, so you could comment, I will read it. The start of the game, I will change my style of reveal reflect from now on. I will make a point at least one good and bad thing if I can't finally say it, and I will minus and stuff to make the score. And so if it's too much, then I just plus all of them of the point, and I will kind of raging which is better and minus them to make the score come true. If like the good more, then I'd be good, great, outstanding. If equal, it would be so. If the bad more, it would be less than so. The score will be like in the screen. So in I would say if I just if it's too much, then I would just saying the score in terms of my feeling about them. And so one thing about there's a good thing about Ultimate game is that show good development of Angelica in this episode. There's a lot of intrigue, mystery, and more characters that by showing how each character thinking. Our main protagonist is hollow says ever, but never mind. Angelica got developed because of the fact that she is a person that is kind of reasonable person. She raised her whole life to, to for a prince. She got raised by an a family, so she lived her whole life for this guy, this prince. But she got betrayed. But she got still the prince by Mary, which I theorize she is one of the prince. She's one of the sister of our main protagonist because they look like the first or so, and there's good joke and sarcastic for the make game. And Angelica is just like one of the great characters that she just trying to get up to our prince, but the others stealing them. And the bad thing about the animation of the characters often out of the proportions, and a lot of the animation is quite stiff, is quite not so pretty, not so kira as the not so there's not much effect, just stiff characters walking, talking. Some side characters in Prince side is hollow, feel like their dialogue just annoying. Expositions without good enough introductions. The score is so. I just score my feeling is just like raging down. It could be boring if I like if I plus all of the point and minus them. But I'll give the favor to Ultimate Game. I quite enjoy this episode. Izumi, who's just unfortunate. He is understand pain of the other because he is unfortunate. He worry about other because the pain, but it's like on it happy, being happy while this unlucky life sucks. You still could be happy. Good, nothing good in this episode. Bland, sweet, romantic story. No meaningful comedic or romantic scenes. The score of Jigimori episode 3 is boring. And so let's see. Aaron episode 3. Episode 3 of Aaron. I think there's people seems like people saying it's drop, but I feel honestly so good. Aaron dances led a lot of reference without a lot of the reference without papers. It kind of bugs me a bit. but the story just flow nicely. It's a lot of reference, a lot of the stuff happening in the episode, a lot of goofy stuff made me feel good. I want Aharon, like episode 1, to have the same sweetness of meaning and its meaningful gag, without some meaningful or some stroke of writing. Aharon is just really random mess of visual comedy. That's just another rom-com of the season. I like the last part of Aharon going to change seat to writer. It's just drama and comedic scenes help Aharon make more YouTube and practice stuff. Aharon don't gauge the distance. It's kinda good anime is as a mean to make some events that make the story drama at the same time goofy. Like even you can't gauge the distance. Rido, I wanted to let you know that you are close to me the most. With Carl in the phone with him or something. New characters with the compatible good gag with the older characters. Good drama and some shot with the characters seem unrelated. Think completely different thing in mind. But really can't hear the thinking of the Aharon. The score of this anime. Alright, the score of this anime is outstanding. Episode 3 of the Aharon. Okay, so far we have considering Yushaimima's Aren and Kako no Nosuke. Kako no Nosuke, my favorite rom-com in the seasons, which a little thing in Kako no Nosuke, I like it. It discovered the cliche of yandere going to stay in the same tsundere going to stay in the same house. Umino helped Amano did social network and stuff while Amano helped him. This probably few anime that I have seen did a good genre from Toradora, maybe Saigano. They both actually feel like the different person, but actually at last being with each other is the most comfortable things. Like Toradora and the Lovely Complex, this anime also have the fan service than the other two anime, but still this anime did a good job at concealing the percent of the fan service and still having the story. I hope it takes Toradora read whether the whole show is about meaningful interactions. Also, there's still some fan service in Toradora yet, but it's not into. There's some fan service concealing the story, but yes, there's also fan service in that, but there's not so much grossing, so much like the whole purpose of the scene is fan service, and not that much fan service yet. This episode none other than being a really sweet episode, which understanding the characters built on and Umino being the houses with Amano set conditions of an competitive hero trying to gain advantage of Umino. So how would this and I already know it's locked to both Umino and Amano, like Toradora, Saigano, on all the rom-com. If it's changed, I would glad. So I think that it would find it so enjoyable if it kept up with this pacing. Animation, fan service great, like Sonovitsu doll Koizuru make me horny, not so annoying. Raiha really trying to make Amano less annoying as Cinderella, which is work. I'm excited if this anime ended with the board other than Amano and Umino, hinting of Saji and mysterious characters that might leave Amano. That I think the reason why they did social media and hero introducing the characters and characters development and feeling. I can't really give him lower score than this for this episode. Then that's great to outstanding. Depends on your perspective of rom-com. Yonder a fan service, you might think that it is not a normal episodic, but for me, it is entirely better than the rom-com I could think of. I think that this anime is based I have seen from Shin-A Studio because of the fact that Takagi-san because the fact that Takagi-san is just kind of bland for me. This anime go further than Takagi. Shame that this anime is not as popular as Kanijo Okarishimasu and Gotobu no Hanayome. Good. Generally good, meaningful romance scenes connect the theme of the family bond. And so I need to replay this clip. I've said it before, so generally good, meaningful romance scene connect the theme of the family of bond, naturally executed, consistent animation, beautifully designed character, and consistent animation, annoying, ambiguous choruses we don't know what the point of it was. Maybe in the future she will be related to Erika Crush when she was kids. It is hero. And hero introductions what is bad. Still not much depth of the characters, but this is just a little bit of the anime. Not something bugs me much. And so finish the Kako no Inosuke. Of course, I kind of was difficult not today, so good in this episode. I recommend so much. Episode 3, right? Evil organization using the negative thinking of the people to world domination. Further high using the fan service moments to exaggerate connected to Tokusatsu idea. Using organizations as means to date contrast concept. All in the speed episode it's really cut short some date scenes. Some scene which has its benefits and some weaknesses. Yes, it's really short and feel enjoyable, but it also make me not as immersed to the experience which takes me as much as feels like I just watch a slideshow of story, but still okay in itself. The score of Kawasaki wa Seifuku no Atode is, as expect from this anime, really good animation for me, at least from what people think. Great, the score is great, and so it is sweet and good. A lot of the genius is shot, some funny stroke of world building and writing with using some other characters to highlight how this lover is love in the middle of the storm. Good uses of everything, whether it be theme or courses, world building, little thing, organization, dating, smartphone, rival, concept of enemy. On life, these two needed each other now. So I have a lot of good point rather than complaint. So the score is great. It actually makes sense. Related gag about the life of love when they part or when the Dexamy call through the home phone. portray romance, relationship, reaction of those in courts is good. Still not explore the rest of the story in the other courts much, or that is anything that is real threat to the relationship work of Fudo, Ranger, and Desmi or their co-worker, or something that is risk of the exposure, that they get exposed in the relationship. No, 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 no need to say. The score is great, which that's satisfying. Summertime render, summertime render, summertime render, summertime render. So, summertime render episode 3. So, summertime render episode 3. One thing I really like about this anime is that it does not waste life of the main characters to make the drama happen, and it doesn't waste the time to investigate something and just go on and on and on and make it look cheap, like research rather than use life of the main characters to border the important plot point that is happening in the story. Instead, it's just wasting the life of the main characters to make the life of the main characters look more pathetic. Character look more pathetic. Life of the Subaru, more drama, and extended it. I honestly think that this episode is good. I like the atmosphere. It used a lot of the characters twist and turn in it a lot of events. But we know a little bit about each characters to use it later. Basically, just a slow prepare the big turn. Just in the future episode, which I think is next episode. The thing is this story goes so fast that which kind of feel weird, but I cannot say this good or bad because I enjoy it, but it has also cut the story a bit. So I wanted to know what will happen next, what charter will be, me or Shio. Good mystery, surreal atmosphere. Something I feels like the real mystery in this anime. I need to figure out what's happening in the show first. The pace was too fast. As I said, it goes both way. But then when I think about this anime again, I feel like the pace is too fast. As opposed to creating the atmosphere and playing with the emotion of the audience, I don't feel an intrigue in the protagonist finding out about mystery. Don't get me wrong. Too slow like Kaiji could be a problem, but this is just about every episode in Summertime Render. But it is prominent in this episode of finding something. I don't feel like I need to find anything or there is something I wonder. Hint of the shadow. I feel like it will resolve on its own accord. Different from Roka no Yusha, where there's actually time and some there's actually clear-cut explanation for what will happen. Slowly unfold, and introducing hints still. Fast-paced action made it fun. So intrigues with the mystery. The only thing about Summertime Render made me intrigued is shadow, which isn't explained clearly, especially in the later episode where a biggest explanation of the mystery comes to play, that we really don't know what is happening, but feel like the story is reasonable but goes fast. The score of the Summertime Render is good to great. So, despite the fact that I am roasting this anime too much, still find it good in it. And so, Yusha Yamimasu episode 4. Yusha Yamimasu is a warm-hearted anime, teach lesson about working per episode. Help Lily to rely on older, more kinda good anime that teaches you though it is straight anime characters, morale and stuff, but still, I think it should be this way. And so, wanted to see how this army will wrap up. This just remember first scene with our main protagonist being the town, but this is Isekai. Good wording of the races arc and stuff, and kind of well thought out, just a game stuff. But still, there's some thinking put into it. Seven-star protagonist fucked up philosophy of trying to rely on friend while main protagonist just try hard alone. Always. Really generic story. Straight line plot. Nothing that is important. Just normal slice of life moment, which I don't know why there isn't any arc story already in episode 3. The score of Yusho Yamimasu is boring, and then so because this episode have nothing to offer to me, and so it just chose straight line and fucked up philosophy, and that is so. In the 可愛いだけじゃない Chigi Morrison